Good evening, school board, Dr. Hernandez and district staff. The time is 5:45 p.m. on February 18th, 2025, and I call this public hearing of the Edgewood Independent School District School Board to order. First is roll call. Ms. Martha Castilla won't be joining us tonight. Mr. Frank Espinosa.
Present.
Mr. Luis Gomez.
Present.
Mr. Rudy Lopez. Mr. Michael Valdez. Mr. Sergio Delgado's on his way. And Dr. Hernandez, I'm here. Dr. James Hernandez is here. Let the record show that, hang on. Sorry, guys. Sorry about that. Let the record show that a quorum of the Edgewood Independent School District School Board is present, that this meeting has been duly called, and that notice of this meeting has been posted in accordance with the Texas Open Meetings Act. First, we have communications from citizens.
Mr. President, I believe we do have one communication from citizen.
Okay, thank you. Before I call anybody up, I have a statement to read. Board policy BED local limits public comments to specific agenda items. Any speaker that deviates from speaking on agenda items will be ruled out of order, and they will forfeit the rest of their time. The speaker will be informed when he or she has 1 minute remaining. Speakers who engage in personal attacks or use insulting, profane, threatening, or abusive language during any board meeting shall be ruled out of order by the presiding officer and may be escorted from the board meeting room by district peace officers. Any concerns or complaints regarding employees, public officials, students, or parents should be resolved via the appropriate complaint process as stated in BED local. Pursuant to 551.042 of the Texas Government Code, no board member or administrator may respond to a member of the public unless such response is a recitation of district policy or a statement of specific factual information. Please be advised that citizens, and especially board members, shall refrain from speaking over one another during the meeting out of respect for the speaker that has the floor. And with that, can I have Miss Melody Herrera to the stand, please? To the dais? Or not the dais, the speaker. Not here? Okay. With that, we'll move on to our next agenda item. Mr. Chavez? I'm sorry, Dr. Basurto. Board members, do I have a motion to open up the public hearing regarding the Edgewood Independent School District?
I move to open up the public hearing.
Sorry, my script is all jumbled. Might just be me. Let me try that again. Do I have a motion to open the public hearing regarding the Edgewood Independent School District 2023-2024 Texas Academic Performance Report?
I move to open up the public hearing for the 2023-2024 TAPER Academic Report.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Valdez. Motions, is there a second? Okay, Mr. Lopez seconds. All those in favor, raise your hand and say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All those opposed, say nay and raise your hand. Okay, motion passes. The public hearing is now open. And Mr. Basurto, I'm sorry, Dr. Basurto, go ahead.
Good evening, Dr. Hernandez and Superintendent Dr. Hernandez, esteemed board members and community members at large. Today is our public hearing on the Texas Academic Performance Report, what we call TAPER, for the 23-24 school year.
Okay.
Thank you. Okay, so the Texas Academic Report, what we call the TAPER is compiled by the Texas Education Agency for every district and campus using PEANS data and student assessment data. The TAPER is published in two different formats. One is a comprehensive online data system, which we call the Texas Performance Reporting System, TPRS, board that is hyperlinked, so you click on that, it'll take you directly to that website. The second part of the way in which it's published is through the PDF version. So there we have the PDF taper. You will then click on that and it'll take you directly to the PDF version of that report. It includes major statutorily required data points designed to allow districts to fulfill their public notification requirement, i.e. the annual report. So from a very broad sense, the academic report has the 2024 accountability rating, which this year has been withheld. As you know, there is litigation with Texas Education Agency, and so all the ratings are withheld. All campus ratings are also withheld. We also have the 2024 distinction designations, and those also have been withheld as well. We do have the 2024 special education determination status. The district right now is labeled as needs assistance, and I'll give more information in a little bit later on in this presentation. This determination status is a label that represents integrated determination level status based on evaluation of each of the local education agencies. In other words, the ISDs, the districts. I'll get into a little more information on the results driven, so I'm going to skip that part because I'm going to go into more detail at a little part in this presentation. Part of the Texas Academic Report also provides the 2024 Armed Services Vocational Aptitude Battery Test. So for the 23-24 school year, Edgewood does not receive a rating, as all the ISDs across the state. On the 2024 Special Education Determination Status, we are labeled as Needs Assistance. But what does that mean? So Special Education Determination Status is made annually based upon a results-driven accountability framework, which we call RDA. RDA is a local education agency level data-driven monitoring framework developed and implemented annually by the Division of Monitoring, Review, and Support in coordination with supporting departments within the Texas Education Agency. The Texas Education Agency then analyzes the data from the RDA indicators to address district performance on student outcomes, compliance indicators to guide supervision and support for each district. So here you see that there is 3 domains, domain 1, 2, and 3. So the RDA is compiled of all these indicators to include student academic achievement. There's indicators for post-secondary readiness. And lastly, indicators of disproportionate analysis that really includes a lot of the data integrity pieces that go with special education. Each district is assigned an annual determination level when it is aligned with specific monitoring and supporting activities. The determining levels are calculated based on an overall analysis of indicator levels. Districts are expected to address the needs associated with their assigned DL of a 1, 2, 3, or 4 with the individual data indicators that contribute to the overarching DL. In 2023, you'll see that Edgewood ISD was designated as a determination level 3. For the 23-24 school year, Edgewood ISD moved up the determination level to level 2. And this is a direct correlation in improved performance in the RDA indicators. Overall, the Texas Academic Performance Report provides information on STAR performance, teams' financial standard reports for the 22-23 school year, district accreditation status for the 23-24 school year, report on violent or criminal incidents on campuses, also provides student performance in post-secondary institutions, and lastly, there is a glossary that goes with this report to help understand various methodologies that are used within the report. So under section 1, under STAR performance, all performance rates are based off of 2-year windows. It provides you the 23 and the 24-year performance for approaches, meets, and masters, how students are rated based on assessment. It also provides data for each assessment, all grades, all subjects, and all grades by subject. Paper also provides STAR progress for the 23-24 school year. Now this one is only calculating specific grade levels because students have to have 2 data sets to show progress. So for example, 3rd grade will never be in here because that's the first time students take an assessment. So this calculation begins in 4th grade through 8th grade and English 2. And in mathematics, you go from 4th grade to 8th grade to Algebra 1. And they're reported by grade and subject. Next piece of the taper is providing information on our bilingual education and English as a second language programs. And the data is disaggregated by various programs. It gives you STAR performance over a 2-year period. And it also gives you the academic growth component that you saw earlier in the other slide. And it's also for identified as our current ELs for the 23-24 school year. The taper also provides STAR participation rates. Basically, the percentage of students who would administer a STAR test, STAR alternate 2 test, a TELPAS test, or any other SAT, ACT assessment. Now, when we talk about attendance and graduation and dropout rates, this is where it gets a little different because this data is not from the last year, 23-24. This data is what we call a lagging indicator over a 1-year period. So it's lagging and it's based off of the 2022-2023 school year. So for example, the attendance rate, which is a percentage of days that students were present, is taken from the 22-23 school year, not from last year. The annual dropout rate for 7th and 8th grade and 9th through 12th is also a lagging indicator, along with the longitudinal graduation rates by cohort. They give you a 4-year, 5-year, and 6-year graduation rate. And again, those are our lagging indicators. You also get a graduation profile for the class of 2023, not last year's class, which is class of 2024. That information will be forthcoming in the next paper. So here you have an attendance and dropout overall data sets for the taper. You'll notice at the very top, 2023-2024 was being reported out this year. And you'll notice under attendance, it's 85.1. Note, underneath the 85.1% attendance rate, it's based off of the 22-23 school year. Annual dropout for grades 7 through 8, 4.3, is based off the 22-23 school year. Annual dropout rate for 9 through 12 at 5.2, based off the 22-23 school year. Four-year longitudinal rates, class of 2023. Again, a lagging indicator, not last year's class, 2023. Here you have the percentages for graduation. Graduated, or with an other form of diploma, and then graduates and continuers. And so there you have 85.8 for the class of 2023, 85.8 graduated with a Texas or equivalency diploma, 85.8, and then of course graduates, diploma, and continuers. And continuers, what that means is those are students who've already graduated, who are special needs, and stay on in our ISD until they age out. In other words, they're graduates, but they still receive services here in the district, even though they're already graduated. That's what they call continuers. Now we're talking college, career, and military readiness, what we all in our industry call CCMR. And these are CCMR graduates who are college ready or career or military ready. Again, this indicator is a lagging indicator, 2022-2023 school year. The last year's data that just came from class of 2024, you will see it in the next taper report. The indicators gives you percentages of annual graduates who met TSI criteria for language arts, math, or both subjects. It also tells you how many received and completed credit for college, percentage of graduates earned a college course. Gives you AP, IB results. In our district, we offer AP assessments, SAT, ACT result, and averages. Other post indicators provided are the advanced dual credit course completions, 9th through 12th grade, CT coherent sequence. What that means is the kids who take a CT pathway and the number of courses that they complete within that pathway. Graduates are enrolled in Texas institutions of higher education, is where our kids go to higher ed, such as UT, UTSA, TAMUSA, things of that nature. And graduates completing a 1 year without enrollment in a developmental educational course. Again, these are based off of the class of 2023. The taper also provides performance for student information. Now, this student information is based off of last year, not a lagging indicator. This is based off of 23-24. It'll provide student enrollment numbers, membership, by grade level, by ethnicity. It'll give you overall how many students with disabilities within their district, all that information. It also provides staff information, number of staff, experience levels, all those things that make up our district. Here, for example, is the 23-24 district profile as presented by the taper. We got student information, staff information, and program information. Last year, we reported at the time of the PEEM snapshot, 7,916 students. 93.1 economic disadvantage, of which 25.1 were English language learners. 78.2 were labeled as at risk, identified as at risk, with a mobility rate, which is the only one lagging indicator from 22-23, of 24.9. Staff information, 10.1 average years of experience in our district, 6.8 average years of experience of teachers within the district, 27.6 turnover rate for teachers, and then 45.9% of our teachers have 5 or less years of experience. Program information, 25.1 bilingual students makes up our bilingual program, 3.8 gifted and talented, and special education, we are now at 14.7, a high number for special education services. So we do provide a lot of special education services for our students here at Edgewood. Campus performance objectives, these were presented to you in the fall, where campuses, what we call the campus improvement plans, are created, made, and then kept up with at the campus and made public. Each campus has developed its plan and is implemented as we speak, and they're required to quarterly revisit to see progress based on the campus improvement. The next piece of the presentation is also providing the PEEM's financial standard reports. You'll notice there at the very top, it's hyperlink. You can click and it'll provide you the 22-23 financials for the district. It'll provide you district and campus. At the district level, we have revenues, expenditures, disbursements, tax rates, and fund balance. And then at the campus level, it'll provide you expenditures by object and function codes and program expenditures per program. So again, accreditation status, we are an accredited district. Again, because of litigation, there's been a hold, and we still maintain the accountability rating of a C based off of 2022 school year, okay? So we've been in litigation for the past 2 years, and they've been frozen, and we'll see where that takes us here in the coming future. So we are an accredited district. Report on violent and criminal incidents. And TEC section 39.306 requires that each district to publish as part of its annual report a report on violent or criminal incidents that occur at each campus. So here is a snapshot of the incidents for the district for a total of 10. I will point out that out of the 10 incidents reported, 7 of them were because of vapes. Now the law changed last year, and these incidents occurred right before the change in the law. So 7 of the 10 are actually based off of vapes, and of course that law has now been changed since that. It used to be that a vape, if you were caught with a vape, it was determined to be a felony. That law has changed since then. So part of that intervention is providing intervention and prevention programs, and as campuses follow district code of conduct, there are policies and procedures that must be followed and adhered to ensure student safety and faculty safety. Campus participate in positive behavioral intervention and support programs, what we call PBIS. Administrators and staff participate in nonviolent crisis intervention training. Counseling services do provide a plethora of intervention programs, such as bullying prevention training, violence and crisis intervention, dating violence. There's dating violence policy there to protect our students, teen dating violence prevention month, suicidal ideation protocol. So there is a lot of work that needs to be done on a continual basis to ensure that our students are safe. Student performance and post-secondary institution. So the Texas Higher Education Coordinating Board is a partner, resource, and advocate to higher education institutions across the state. They work in partnership with the legislature, businesses, and other key stakeholders to ensure our state's higher education goals are aligned with our state's economic and talent needs. As such, higher education institutions, all the universities here in Texas, are required to submit facilities, financial, and student-level data documents and reports to the Texas Higher Education Coordinating Board. They're the individuals that then gather all this information and make the information available to constituents and serves as a resource. Hence how this information is made available to districts across the state. There in blue, you'll see that the most current report for the 2023 high school graduates is hyperlink board. If you click on that, it'll take you directly to that report. Here's a snapshot of our students. 87 out of 205 students at JFK attending higher ed, class of 2023. 76 out of 63 students from Memorial attended higher ed. And fine arts, 38 out of 65 from the class of 2023 attending higher ed here in Texas. Last but not least, board, you have here a hyperlink to the Texas Academic Performance Report Glossary. Click on this, it'll provide you methodologies and ways in which these reports are generated and calculations. So if you ever have questions there, you would go there and it tells you how the graduation rates are calculated and different reports are calculated. And so each year, this has to be made available. Taper glossary, again, like I mentioned, provides definitions, describes methodologies, and lists sources for each of the data points presented in the tape. And so resources and availability of the annual report, the district paper will be posted in the district's website within 2 weeks of this presentation. Paper copies will be made available at the district central office and at each campus in the district. And any questions or information, please do not hesitate to contact me, Dr. Robert Lasu. Are there any questions?
All right, thank you, sir. Board members, do we have any public comment regarding the public hearing of the Edgewood Independent School District 2023-2024 Texas Academic Performance Reports? Any questions from the board?
I have a question.
Okay, go for it.
The special education needs assistance. I was talking to some of my friends in other school boards, and they're also in assistance and needs intervention. But more specifically for our school district, what are we doing about the special education needs assistance?
Thank you for asking that, Mr. Valdez. So part of what happens, a part of the RDA process is what we call the results-driven accountability. It's a process that TEA enacts with all districts, as I stated earlier. And what we do is, last year we were in needs intervention, and we have a group, collaborative group, that includes special ed, academics, school leadership, various people and stakeholders from the district who meet and devise plans to address the gaps. And so we meet quarterly with TEA officials to review progress relative to those gaps. And then at the end, we have a summative, and then the results come in. And then based on the indicators and performances, you either move up, stay, or go down on that ladder that I showed you. Based on the information that I shared with you today is we moved up a level, determination level. So that means that we have met more progress and we're moving the needle. Doesn't mean we're there yet. We still have work to do, but we're moving in the right direction and we're trending. And so it takes a village to raise a child. And so it takes everybody in the district, teachers, staff, the special ed department, principals, everybody working hand in hand, assisting our kids.
But my real question is, what really are the gaps that we're missing? What exactly are we doing to meet those gaps? Because when I was talking about this to my other colleagues, they were informing me that they were hiring the people to go and help the teachers, but I just want to know what exactly the gaps that we're missing.
So in some of the gaps, so for example, on the performance indicators in domain 3, we're at 100%. That means we are doing a great job of identifying students. I know that was been an issue in some other districts where they don't have enough personnel to identify, test, and ensure that students are placed in the right programs. In those indicators, we're doing a great job. Where we're always continuing to strive is closing the achievement gap. As you know, across the state of Texas, special needs students lag in performance with their special kids. That is not just to Edgewood, it's across the state and across the country. So we're continually always looking at best practices. So I'll give you one specific example. One was looking at how we train our special ed teachers to help our students address the writing piece in language arts. As you know, language arts now includes reading and writing. One of our strategies last year, just to be specific, just to give you one example, there's multiple, is that we trained our special ed inclusion teachers along with our staff paras to help. Here's what the rubric looks like. Here's how the way you would help teachers support. And then they're in there hand in hand working with the inclusion model with some of our students. Just to give you one example. But it is a long, arduous process, and there's multiple sets. But I just gave you one example to answer that question.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, board members, any more questions? Okay, if not, do we have a motion to close the public hearing regarding the Edgewood Independent School District 2023-2024 Texas Academic Performance Report. Mr. Gomez, motions, is there a second? Mr. Lopez seconds. All those in favor, raise your hand and say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All those opposed, raise your hand and say nay. Okay, motion carries. The public hearing regarding the Edgewood Independent School District 2024-2025 budget. Okay. Motion carries. The public hearing regarding the Edgewood Independent School District 2023-2024 Texas Academic Performance Report is now closed. Okay. Do I have a motion to adjourn this public hearing of the Edgewood Independent School District Board? Okay, Mr. Gomez motions, is there a second? Mr. Delgado seconds. All those in favor, raise your hand and say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All those in favor, raise your hand, all those opposed, raise your hand and say nay. Okay, motion carries. The time is now 6:11 PM and this public hearing meeting is adjourned. I want to add to the record that Mr. Delgado arrived prior to the adjourn. Thank you.
All right, everybody, we're gonna go ahead and reconvene in 2 minutes for the regular meeting. I know we have a lot of parents here for, the pledge and different things tonight, but in 2 minutes, we'll reopen our regular, called meeting. Just a couple minutes, please.